Hey guys, this is Bobby and I am here with another video. Okay, this video is going to be the 5 series that I would really like to start. These are all some that I've had on my shelf for quite a while, or I've had on a TBR for quite a while that I just never got around to starting. One of these has been on here for like years, and I've owned it for years, and I honestly forgot about it until I had rearranged my shelves and it kind of popped up. So yeah, let's get started. If you have read any of these, definitely let me know. This first one is definitely something completely out of my wheelhouse and what I really read, and I had originally found out about this because there was a guy that took the same bus as I did every morning when I was on my way to work, and he was the only other person that was ever reading on the bus, and me and him kind of like would swap which books we were reading and stuff, like talking about them, and he was reading this one and it sounded really cool and he said it was really awesome. So I've always wanted to get it, and it's been on my shelf for probably about like 5 years or so. So yeah, and that is the Lives of Tao by Wesley Chu. This is like a sci-fi fantasy kind of book. This takes place with a man, what is his name? Rowan. He is he's just like a normal guy. He's an IT tech, and he just kind of lives his life, likes video games and crap like that. One day he wakes up and he feels a little strange, and all of a sudden he realizes that an alien species has kind of invaded his brain. This alien species has been on Earth for millennia, and they pick certain people to kind of take over and teach them their ways, type of thing. It sounds really crazy and really fun. There are like different personas, like with the different ones that are in there, I believe. I don't know how many there are. I don't know if that's like the accurate, different ones, but there is different factions. There is the one that is in his head, which is the more peace-loving group, and there is another side which are powerful ones, and they both want to get off this planet, but they're both kind of fighting, and this guy is stuck in the middle because his brain has been invaded by one of them. It sounds crazy, it sounds all over the place, and it sounds definitely like something that I would read. When I picked it up and I was like, holy crap, I forgot about this book, and I read the back, I remember exactly why I wanted to read it, because it just sounds really awesome and like a lot of fun. I've never heard this book mentioned anywhere besides the guy that was on the bus that was reading it. So if you have read this one, definitely let me know if it's worth picking up or not. Obviously, I do want to read it, but if maybe I might move it down a little bit, maybe I might move it up, I don't know, but I really want to get into this one. It just sounds really awesome. This next one I've also had on my shelf and my radar for a long time. I had it recommended to me by a friend, and I had bought it, and I just never got around to picking it up for some reason. And that is The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. I always see this book recommended, like a lot, in some of the book groups that I'm on Facebook. I see it recommended a lot. I've literally never heard anything bad about it. This has to do with a girl who is forced into a marriage, and within that marriage she is believed to be like the chosen one type of thing, or if she's not the chosen one, they kind of want her to pretend that she is, so that she can kind of lead the people into like having hope, is what I think it's about. So they're trying to fulfill the prophecy using her. That's all I really know. I don't know much about it, but I've just always heard good things. I've had it on my shelf for quite a while. I've always meant to pick it up. I just never got around to it, but I've been seeing it popping up a lot lately, so I'm taking that as a sign that, you know what, read it. Okay, this next one is a hugely popular series. had the book on my shelf for a while as well, and I just never picked it up because I wasn't really sure, because it's more of the high fantasy, and I hadn't really read too much high fantasy before, but I'm really getting into it right now. And I've always seen this book mentioned. People used to rave about it years ago, and that was when I bought it. But I've always meant to get into it, and that is The Lies of Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is a fantasy where there is this guy named Locke Lamora. He is part of, like, this is the Gentleman Bastards series. He is part of, I don't know if it's like a religion or a group. There are a bunch of thieves and stuff. He is a thief. His whole group, that is what they do. They're not the best of people. But I've always heard that it has some really good characters, and I've just always meant to pick it up. I've seen it being mentioned a little here and there again, because I hadn't heard it mentioned in a while. I don't know if the series is actually complete or not, but it always sounded really fun. But I know a lot of people, like I said, they say that the characters are phenomenal, and I think this has to do with pirates as well, so like thieves and pirates and shit like that. Like, you got me listening. I don't know why I haven't ever picked it up to read it, but this is like definitely on the top of the what are you waiting for? What are you really waiting for? So there we go. Okay, this next one is one, I think the sequel came out not that long ago, and I had bought this because I had heard it mentioned a lot, and it has to do with one of my favorite just like genres, and that is zombies, and that is Dreadnation by Justina Ireland. This takes place, I believe, during like the Civil War, and during the Civil War, the zombie apocalypse ends up happening. They end up training these girls, specifically, I believe it is African American girls, to fight, and they're the ones that would like protect the household. So instead of being like a house slave, they're a house protector type of thing. But I've heard it mentioned that this is really good. I love anything to do with zombies. This just sounds like everything I would like. The only thing that's kind of always put me back is the whole Civil War era. I've never read anything from that era. I don't really know much about the era besides, you know, what you learn in school and stuff. So, and I've never really been super interested in it, but I want to give it a try. It sounds fucking awesome. I've heard people say it's really good. I've heard a lot of good things about this. So yeah, I know I have to pick it up, and I'm hoping I could put this into my October TBR, since zombies, what screams better like zombies than October. But yeah, and I love the cover. I think it has a really cool cover. So hells yeah, some zombies, some badass women. That's all I can really hope for. Okay, this last series is one that I have the entire series for. I have yet to pick it up, and the only reason I never got around to reading it is because I had the hardest time finding the hardcover for the first book. I found the second one really easy, and then I think recently the third one came out, which I just got and I had talked about really quick in my book haul, my last book haul video. And I don't know too much about the series. I loved the cover, and it has to do with witches, and right there as alone, like, you got my interest. And that is The Bone Witch by Rin Chapeko. This has to do with necromancy. There is a girl who she is, I believe, like, being a witch is, like, in the family. And she is the first one in her family to be a bone witch, which is a necromancer, which is a feared and looked upon practice. She has to go and meet with I don't know if it's another coven or just a witch, where she starts to learn to control her powers. I loved this cover. I really wanted the hardback, and I had the hardest time finding it. I finally got it. Now I have the whole series. This is another one that I definitely want to add to the top of my pile. It just sounds cool. It's beautiful. I hear it mentioned when people recommend witch books, but I never really hear anybody actually talking about this, so I don't know how it is or not. But it's been on the top of my list for quite a while, and like I said, I finally have it now, so want to read it. I need to read it because I love witches. I need everything witches in my life. So, alrighty, those are the 5 series that I want to get into. If you have read any of these and you think I should move them up my list or down my list, I'd love to know. I have no idea which ones I want to get to, because currently I'm doing most of my TBRs just off of my readathons, since I've been doing readathons every month. As you know, I'm not sure when I will upload this video, but the month of August I am attempting to do 5 readathons, so I am pretty stacked up there, but I really like the readathons just for the fact that I get so much reading in, and because if I'm left to myself to just pick my own TBR, I read like 1 book. If I do a readathon, I read like 20 books in a month, so yeah. But yeah, definitely let me know if you think I should try throwing one of these onto a TBR, because I don't know, but that's what's what. So thanks for watching, you guys. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, and as always, happy reading. Bye.